It's hard to describe the Alienware Alpha. On the surface, it's a small-form gaming PC, custom-built from laptop components to fit in your entertainment center. But it was supposed to be a frontrunner in a new category of gaming devices. It isn't. Valve's Steam Machine initiative was delayed past its original launch window, leaving manufacturers like Dell to fend for themselves in a market that doesn't exist yet. It's a weird, awkward place to be in, but here we are, testing the Alienware Alpha, the Steam Machine before its time. The question is, can one of the biggest names in PC gaming succeed where others have failed? If you absolutely have to have a Steam Machine right now, you're not going to do better than the Alienware Alpha. Still, it's a mere stepping stone towards bigger, better and more complete PC game consoles. The Alienware Alpha is simple, small and almost boring to look at, a subdued black box that won't draw an iota of attention to your entertainment center. There's a little flair, of course. The machine's power button is formed in the shape of the signature Alienware logo, and one of the machine's front corners is bisected at a sharp angle. Unlit glow around the perimeter of the cut. It won't stand out in a bright room, but it's enough to let you know the device is turned on. It's nice. There are only 2 USB ports lingering on the device's front, but folks searching for connections can find 2 more on the machine's back edge and, oddly, an extra USB input hidden behind a panel on the Alpha's undercarriage. The compartment is large enough to conceal most wireless mouse and keyboard dongles as well as any thumb drive, but sadly, it's far too small to contain the Alpha's included wireless Xbox 360 controller adapter. The usual assortment of ports filled out the back, HDMI, Ethernet, power and even an optical audio output, though I was surprised to find a second HDMI socket there as well. It's not uncommon for desktop PCs or laptops to have multiple monitor outputs, but what purpose could a dual monitor setup serve in my entertainment center? None, as it turned out. That's actually an HDMI pass-thrust input that can be activated through the Alpha's menu system. Basically, it lets you pipe another device in your entertainment center through Alienware's unit to save space on TV inputs. It's not necessary, but it's a nice touch nonetheless. My heart sank just moments after I first booted up the Alienware Alpha. I wasn't greeted with Steam Big Picture mode or even Alienware's own Alpha interface, but with the Windows 8 profile setup screen. It was shocking. The Alpha may not be an official Steam machine, at least not yet, but it was meant to be used in the living room as a game console. Did Dell really ship a so-called game console that requires a mouse and keyboard to set up? Thankfully, no. After syncing the included Xbox 360 controller, I found the rig was equipped with basic joystick-to-mouse emulation. Phew! Dell tells me that retail systems come with a setup manual that explains this from the get-go, but my review unit was bereft of retail packaging. Stumbling through the Windows 8 setup screen with a gamepad-emulated mouse is an imperfect experience, but it's enough to get the job done. Overall, it's actually a clever mouse driver. The A and B buttons reacted as I expected them to, and mimicked the select and cancel actions I've learned from the console world. Cursor movement is a bit stiffer, largely flowing in strict horizontal, vertical and diagonal lines. It feels a little unnatural, but it's good enough to get the job done. After setting up Windows, the Alpha will reboot to run the user through its own UI setup, a process that asked me to set up another password, select my TV's resolution, scale the screen to fit the TV, wonderfully sidestepping my chipset's overskin issues, and choose between HDMI or optical audio output. After that, things get extremely simple. The Alpha UI primarily exists to act as a buffer between Windows and the average user, limiting the machine's functionality to things that can be managed with the gamepad alone. This makes for a very basic interface. The Alpha UI can launch Steam. Dive into a settings menu used primarily to adjust the settings we just went over, or activate the HDMI pass-thrust. Look at a help prompt. Restart the Alpha or drop to the Windows desktop. That's about it.